Okay, she be gone every single night. Day and night on my mind, pushing a cute vibe.
How's it going, everybody? This is Tyler Drabo. Hope you're having another great day, and welcome back to another video. Alright, it's time for another edition of Haulin Games. In this series, I talk about all the games that I got throughout every month, and for this series, I'm going to be showing you all the games that I added to my video game collection for the month of April of 2022. So this month's collection is pretty much almost similar to the one that I had last month. There's not many games that I got, relatively around like 14 or 15 games, but like the last one, there are certain games that really popped up in my mind that I decided that I was going to get, and a couple that I've really wanted to get for a long time. So this is another pretty interesting collection that I managed to get for this month, and so why not just go ahead and get right into it. And we're going to go ahead and get started with our PlayStation 1 games first. We're going to start out with our sports games that we got here, and the first one is called Need for Speed High Stakes. This is the first Need for Speed game of many that I hope to get for the PlayStation 1. I'm very happy that I have this one. I'm looking forward to getting all the other ones in my collection. And then the next one that I got to go along with it is called Virtual Kasparov. This is a virtual 3D chess game that you get to play against some of the most famous chess players of all time, including the one and only Garry Kasparov, who is probably one of the greatest chess players of all time. Rather interesting one. I never thought that there would actually be a chess game for any of the PlayStation consoles, but this is one that I got, and it wasn't really one that I really thought of getting at first, but why not give it a shot, and we'll see how it goes. So happy that I have this one. I'm looking forward to playing this a little more. Next one that I added into my collection is called Army Men Sarge's Heroes. Another one of those popular Army Men games for the PlayStation 1 that was released all the way back in 1999. I don't know what it is between me and Army Men, but it seems like I have a little bit of an affection with them because I've gotten quite a bit of Army Men games into my PS1 collection, and I think this is the 7th one that I've added into it. So I've gotten quite a bit, and almost shockingly enough, I've not even played any of them as of this point. But I'm really happy that I got this one. I think I got every one of the PlayStation 1 games from the Army Men franchise, so I don't know about that yet, but if that is true, that's pretty exciting, and I'm hoping to get a lot more of them in the near future, and actually hopefully play some of them as well. Then there are a couple of movie games. The first one is called Space Jam, released back in 1996 from one of my personal favorite movies that I've watched, including Michael Jordan and all the Looney Tunes characters. I really love this film, and so I'm really looking forward to seeing if the game holds up as well. And then the other one that I got is called The Emperor's New Groove. This was a film that I actually watched quite a bit when I was younger. I used to love this film, especially seeing the Emperor being turned into a llama in the middle of the film, which is kind of hilarious to me, but I had never actually played the game before, so I felt like this would be one that would be very unique and one that I would personally add to my collection. Haven't had a chance to play it yet. I only just got this one, and so I'm looking forward to playing it, and hopefully, just like Space Jam, the game is just as good as the film. That's going to do it for all the games that I got for the PlayStation 1. I'm going to go ahead and move on now to the PlayStation 2, and there were a couple of games here that actually really caught my eye here that I want to get, but the first one was not one of them, however. This was more one of those plain tactical shooters. This is called SOCOM 3 US Navy SEALs. Yes, this is another one of those SOCOM games, and again, I'm not much of a fan of tactical shooters, but you know what? I think I've gotten all the SOCOM games for the PlayStation 2, so that's really a plus in my book. Then a couple of driving games. The first one I got is called The Dukes of Hazzard Return of the General Lee, released back in 2004. I've already played the whole story mode, and it was a little tricky at times, but it is a pretty fun game in my book, and I'm looking forward to getting to play this again in the future. And then the other one I got is called The Simpsons Road Rage. This is a game I actually remember having when I was a kid, and I did play it quite a bit, especially since it took place in Springfield and a lot of high-speed traffic as well. So this is a rather hilarious game in my book, and I really would like to see if I can get The Simpsons Hit and Run as well. I heard that there was a lot more rave reviews for that one than this one, but hey, this is a game that I really enjoyed when I was younger. I don't watch a whole lot of The Simpsons, but hey, their games are pretty good as well, so I'm looking forward to playing this more often. I added one more 007 game into my collection. This is from Russia with Love, released back in 2005, the very last one that was published by EA. I think I got almost all the games on the PlayStation 2 from the 007 collection, but I'll have to check on that. But this is another good one. I'm very happy to have this one, along with Red Dead Revolver. Before there was Red Dead Redemption, there was Red Dead Revolver. This one was released all the way back in 2004 by Rockstar Games, and I think this is a pretty good prelude to Red Dead Redemption. I think this reads very well, especially since this is, like I said before, with Red Dead Redemption is in the Western style format, and so really there's a lot of cool things that you can do in a Western game, and this is another one of those games that really fits that bill. Haven't had a chance to get into this yet, so hopefully now, since I got the first game before Red Dead Redemption, I'll go ahead and play this one first and try to see where this goes, and then hopefully once that's done, I can get into Red Dead Redemption. So I'm happy to have the prelude of this. And finally, it is 24 the game, released back in 2006 and based off of the hit TV series from back in the mid-2000s called 24. Of course, we have Kiefer Sutherland in this game as well. He voices him in the game just like he does in the actual TV show, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't remember if I ever recall watching 24 when I was a kid. I may have seen an episode or so, but I really don't remember. But the fact that there was a game that was based off of it, I just felt like I had to go get this one. So a couple of pretty interesting PS2 games that I added this month, and looking forward to adding more just like those in the near future. But in my real distant surprise, I only was able to get one PlayStation 3 game this month, which is pretty disappointing because usually I get at least somewhere around 3 or 4 of them. But hey, for this one I still got, I felt like it was still rather interesting. And the one that I got is called Sleeping Dogs. Now this is pretty much another one of those Grand Theft Auto clones. However, this one is unique because this one actually takes place in Hong Kong. So you actually get more of a GTA style game in an Asian country, and so really it's a lot more of the same mechanics that you would see in GTA, but the plot in this game, a lot of the setting is a lot more unique than you would think. It's a real interesting one. I feel like this was a good attempt here to try to mock off of GTA, especially since it's more in a different setting than you would normally see, but I really feel like that this was a pretty good attempt, and so I'm happy to have this one, and hopefully I get to play a little bit more of this very soon. And finally, we're going to move on to our PlayStation 4 games, and almost every single one of them I have had on my radar for such a long time, and I'm very happy to get them. And I'm going to start this one off with Burnout Paradise Remastered. This is basically the remastering of the hit 2008 game Burnout Paradise, which is, in my opinion, one of my favorite PlayStation 3 games, and I really enjoyed playing the heck out of the original one, and so I really don't expect much when it comes to the setting, but when it comes to remastered, hopefully this game is a lot better picture-wise than the original one. Like I remember before, I got The Last of Us Remastered to go along with the original Last of Us, and so I felt like that was pretty good, and so I felt like the same thing would apply here to this one. So hopefully this one is pretty good. Then finally, we add a couple shooters. The first one, Killzone Shadowfall, and this officially completes the Killzone franchise for all the PlayStation consoles that they were released on. So I'm very happy that I got the very last one of them, and I'm really looking forward to playing this one. And then the very last one in my collection, The Last of Us Part 2. The fact that this game was available at the nearby digital press at the price that it was, I just felt tempted to go ahead and get this one. Those of you that know me know that I'm a huge fan of the original Last of Us. I think it's one of my all-time favorite video games, and so I just felt like it was finally time to drop the hammer and go ahead and get Part 2, which is a game that I felt like I should have gotten when it first came out a couple years ago. The Last of Us is probably one of the greatest video games of all time, and the same can be said too for Part 2. I haven't had a chance to see all of the gameplay, unlike the original Last of Us, so this will be completely new to me in my opinion, but if the first Last of Us is any indication, I'm so looking forward to getting to play The Last of Us Part 2. So hopefully I get a chance to play it soon, and hopefully this one is just as good as the original. And that'll do it. Another rather light collection, but hey, I still got some pretty good ones like The Last of Us, Burnout, as well as Dukes of Hazzard, and a whole lot of those other games in my collection. So even though it was a smaller collection, it definitely was well worth it in my opinion. But the next couple months, that's when things might probably start to begin picking up a little bit. Early next week, I'll be celebrating Eid al-Fitr, and of course there's also 5 Mondays, so usually there would be 3 opportunities to maybe get some games. So obviously this could be the first time in quite a while that I get a chance to really go ahead and try to expand on my video game collection. So hopefully there are some rather good ones out there that I can try to find that I can add in my collection that I can play. But otherwise, so I'm looking forward to seeing what else I can find within the next couple of months. Anyways, that's gonna do it for another video. I hope you all enjoyed it. As always, if you'd like to see more of my content, be sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when my latest video is released. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so every new subscriber helps. As always, be sure to comment below for future suggestions for all my videos, whether it's vlogs, projects, challenges, or video game content like this one, you name it, leave it in the comments below and I'll do my best to make them. And as always, follow me on my social media, all the links are in the description below. That's gonna do it for another video. Hope you all are having another great day, and as always, I hope to see all of you again in another video very soon. So long, everybody.